evening and welcome to this October 6th edition of EastCast. I'm Lisa Taylor with Jennifer Felcher here to bring you the news of the week. With each year's new dynasty of freshmen, a new set of leaders emerges. Freshman class officer elections are thus the most exciting in any high school. No one knows who will be the ones to rise proudly to the top. This year's freshman elections at East took place today from periods 2 to 8 in Cafeteria 1. The elections followed Tuesday's assembly that gave all the candidates a chance to introduce themselves. The candidates were as follows. For President, Brian Chow, Jojo Adolfo-Mensah, Noah A. Schwartz. For Vice President, there's Frank Smuda and Margarita Sarmiento. For Secretary-Treasurer, there are running Shayna Sellers, Kim Lohberger, and Kristen Connor. And for Publicity Manager, we have Tom Gorczynski, Brooke Goss, the Babbling Brook, and Jay Del Rosario. We wish the best to all the candidates and will report the results to you next week. Along with, we'll be talking to the new officers about their plans for next year.
Banned Books Week 1993 was held September 23rd through October 2nd. This year, the American Library Association took a, quote, back to basics approach. They wanted to focus on the basic theme that censorship violates the First Amendment, freedom of expression. Libraries and booksellers across the United States were encouraged to design creative displays of books challenged throughout the years. This would help spread their message. Although controversy has arisen in the past, Cherry Hill East has always supported an anti-censorship position. The East Showcase displays books such as Huckleberry Finn, The Catcher in the Rye, a separate piece of Mice and Men, and To Kill a Mockingbird. Ms. Back wants East students to appreciate the literature available to them, since students at other schools may not have the same privilege that we have here. This year, The Diary of Anne Frank was chosen as the fall drama here at East. It will take place sometime around the first weekend in December. Tryouts ended today and callbacks will take place tomorrow. There are only 5 major roles, but Mr. Nation is thinking about double casting a few of them. The last time the show was performed at East was 20 years ago in 1973. Mr. Nation is very enthusiastic about doing it again now after 20 more years of directing experience. Also, he is very impressed with the extraordinary talent among current East students.
Get your earplugs ready. It's almost time for one of the noisiest and most fun nights of the year at East, Battle of the Bands. More than 10 different bands are trying out for this 2 to 3 hour competition, which will take place on Friday, October 22nd. Sponsored by SGA and chaired this year by Mark Scheyer, the concert helps SGA raise money to be given to various charities. You'll come back with a throbbing headache, warns David Levine, class of '94, but it's lots of fun. The competition will start at 7:30 p.m. and cost $4 a person. Again, this is Friday, October 22nd, and everyone is welcome. October 14th will be the one night of the year when our parents get to see what it's like to be in the shoes of an East student. Back to School Night gives them a chance to come to East, meet our teachers, and see what our classes are like. They also get a chance to sit in their nice little desk chairs, to follow the bells, and to use maps to find their way throughout the building. This program is important for every student-parent relationship, so we strongly encourage all parents to attend. This is Thursday night, October 14th at 7:30 p.m. We hope to see all the parents there.
Reminder to the parents that the interims will be issued in homerooms this Friday. The drama department / lab theater presentation will be held on Friday and Saturday, October 15th and 16th at 7:30. The new PSATs will be held on the 16th of this month. The test is different from the past PSATs and SATs. The TSWE section is eliminated entirely. More emphasis will be placed on the reading comprehension paragraphs, which have been expanded to 400 to 850 words rather than 200 to 450 words. And the anonym questions have been eliminated. Also, calculators are now permitted on the math sections. The new test is supposed to be a more accurate account of one's academic ability.
All right then, so for all you juniors wanting to make an early start on SAT testing, and you seniors ready to fit in one more test before the applications are due, the fateful test date is nigh approaching. Saturday morning, October 9th, will mark the first SAT testing session of the year and one of the last of the 3 tests given in their original format. Here are some points to keep in mind. Make sure you arrive at your testing center between 8 o'clock and 8:15 a.m. Don't forget your admission ticket, acceptable identification, and 2 number 2 pencils. Expect the testing to begin about 8:30 and to last 3 hours. And make sure you get a good night rest the night before. Okay, well then, good luck to everybody.
And now to update us on East Sports is Wes Fine.
This past Saturday, the Cougars defense led the team to an 8-0 Olympic Conference American Division win over Edgewood. In the second quarter, senior defensive back John Green recovered a fumble in the Edgewood backfield. It took East only a few plays for Jeff Cherkis to break free on a draw play and run 31 yards to score with only 2:17 left in the half. The Cougars were successful on their two-point conversion attempt, giving them an 8-point lead that went uncontested by Edgewood. Ben Steinberg was 8 for 16 for 113 yards passing, connecting with Scott Peeler 5 times for 69 yards to clinch the Cougars' second win. In field hockey this past week, the Cougars won 2-0 on 2 goals by Karen Pondon, and they lost 1-0. That's all for sports this week. Now back to you, Jen.
That's it for the news tonight. Special thanks to Mr. Gordon Hampson, cameraman and editor, to Mr. Keith Haynes, advisor, to our camera crew, Eric Frollin, for the Higher Education Night footage, and to Monica Wooler, Dan Grady, Ryan Malika, and Eric Frollin for their work with the drama auditions. Thank you for joining Lisa Taylor and Wes Fine and me, Jennifer Felcher, this evening. Stay tuned for the Computer Month special, CherryNet, which follows the junior high school news. Tonight we leave you with Ophelia showing her support for East sports programs. Good night, Ophelia.
Good evening and welcome to the West Report. I'm Ed Devlin.
And I'm Kenesha Sherman, and here's the news. Members of our cramped and crowded guidance department were somewhat disappointed this week when they were unable to move into their brand new quarters. Because the contractors did not finish the painting on the target date, the move will not occur until later this week. As soon as the move takes place, the West Report will bring you pictures.
During the past few days, there's been a lot of talk about this year's up-and-coming freshman elections. Running for governor and lieutenant governor are Gina Hart and Karen Singer on the same ticket. Both candidates addressed the freshman class in assembly this morning. This election is unique because they are running unopposed and they are sure to win. Gina Hart promises to help the freshman class excel into their upperclassmen years.
The senior class of 1994 gathered together down in the Jones Gym during the activity period this morning to take the traditional senior class photo. A series of formal poses were taken, as well as a series of funny poses. The seniors weren't the only ones smiling bright this morning. While they were down at the Jones Gym taking their pictures, both the sophomores and the juniors went down to take their homeroom pictures for the rampant. You could purchase a rampant now for $55. Also, any senior who hasn't paid for a group photo and wishes to purchase one can turn in their late order to Mrs. Minadary down in the Student Activities office. Ed?
The new girls' varsity volleyball team is off to a promising start. Over the weekend, the Lady Lions placed third in a 6-team tournament. And then on Monday, they faced a powerful Eastern squad, which had won the 6-team tournament. But the Lady Lions came up short and lost 2-1. Only an excellent jump serve stood in the way of their victory. And here's Dave with the rest of this week's sports.
The West football team suffered a minor setback last week, a 14-7 loss to Highland. The Lions opened the score early in the second quarter on a 3-yard touchdown run by Michael Fulcher. However, both the first and second string quarterbacks were injured in the second half, leaving West with nowhere to run. The team will attempt to avenge this loss at Washington Township Friday night. The 12th-ranked West soccer team easily beat Gloucester Township Tech and Pennsauken last week to remain unbeaten. Against Gloucester, Jim O'Donnell had 2 goals in a 5-0 win. Scott Slotkin and Mike Thiel each had a pair of goals in a 5-0 shellacking of Pennsauken. The team plays Washington Township, Eastern, and Bishop Eustace this week. The Lady Lions field hockey team had 1 win and a loss last week. The girls commenced the week with a 4-2 loss to Eastern, in which Tiffany Sahaki had a pair of goals. Then, last Thursday, Hae-Yun Ree and Julia Dunworth each tallied goals as West blanked Paul VI 2-0. Also, congratulations to field hockey coach Barbara Thompson. Last week, she was named the Courier Post Coach of the Week. The girls play Camden Catholic, Triton, and Shawnee this week. Liz Watson scored the game-winning goal with 4 minutes left in the second overtime period, lifting Cherry Hill West girls soccer team to a 2-1 win over visiting Bishop Eustace in a thrilling non-league girls soccer game last Wednesday. Lindsay Ermey scored the Lady Lions' first goal. The girls then tied Pennsauken 0-0 as goalie Donna Hind had 12 saves. The team plays Washington Township, Eastern, and Millville this week. The girls' tennis team lost to Washington Township last week 5-0. The doubles combination of Aviva Kappas and Geraldine Chazan again turned in a good performance. The team plays against Eastern, Overbrook, and then in the Olympic Conference meet this week. The boys' cross-country team defeated Pennsauken last week as Ed Devlin, Jason Conwell, and Carl Earnhardt took first, second, and third place respectively. Also, in the short invitational meet, the team took 18th place. The boys will race against East and Washington Township in a tri-meet and in the South Jersey Open this Saturday. The girls follow the same schedule. And the girls' gymnastics teams fell to Lenape last week, 90-50. For West, Jen Mesa took third with a score of 5.55 in the uneven bars. The girls vault against East and Haddon Township this week. The boys have meets against East, Lenape, and Shawnee this week. As usual, it's time for my weekly prediction. As you all know, the National League and American League Championship Series will begin this week. Toronto will advance in 6 games. That's my prediction. Hopefully, they will be facing the Phillies. Well, that's all the sports. Now back to the West Report.
On Sunday, October 3rd, the West Marching Band competed at Mainland High School against Pennsville and Absegami. They won first place in the Group 2, and they received 3 special awards. Kirsten Hafford and Heidi Bank won the Best Drum Majors Award. The Best Band Front Award was presented to the West Color Guard. West also won the overall trophy, meaning their score was higher than the other 7 bands at the camp. The band is very proud of their accomplishments, but they still have a lot of work to do.
The cast and crew of this year's children's show, Puss in Boots, are working diligently for 2 upcoming shows. The performances are scheduled for October 29th and 30th. If you have any questions about this production, please contact Miss McMenamin.
Next Wednesday, October 13th, is Back to School Night. This is a chance for parents to meet their children's teachers and get an overall view of what is expected of each student and what the student will learn throughout the year. Back to School Night is from 7:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. You can pick up your son or daughter's schedule in the hallway across from the auditorium according to your child's grade level and last name. There will be a brief meeting held in the auditorium before classes start. If you need any help finding a class, an ROTC cadet will be in the halls to assist you at all times. Refreshments will be served in the cafeteria during all lunch periods. Be sure to come early so you don't have to park 2 blocks away.
One of the fundraisers the junior class is sponsoring this year is a car wash. This event will be held at the Jones Gym parking lot from 10 to 2 on Saturday, October 9th. The prices will be $4 for cars and $5 for vans, so please come out and support your high school.
Thank you for watching the West Report. Please join us again next week at this time. Good night.
Good night.